crispy.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Figures in Action. And today we're gonna be discussing this particular action figure. This is a G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Viper, as if y'all didn't know, because this has been the vein of like everyone's existence, bro. Like, people are just not happy now with the figure, because everybody loves a figure. I think it's a great figure, but upset with distribution, with just a lot of horror stories that I've been reading about, man. It's wild. So wanted to review this figure. I don't do a lot of reviews, but man, do I love this figure. So I'm gonna review it, but also wanted to talk a little bit about the process of getting these figures and how it kind of went about. So the first thing I want to say is what we have pictured here. Let me put this light back a little bit. And let me move this guy out the way. What we have pictured here is a culmination of everything I've gotten since January 1st as I've searched for these Vipers, right? So we all heard that January 1st was kind of the street day for these Vipers. These are a Target exclusive. So January 1st hits, and I think that first day I slept till like 1 p.m. I didn't even January 1st. I didn't even get up. I didn't go to Target. I don't think I went to Target that entire day. And then the next day, I think on the 2nd, I went to Target and proceeded to go to Target, I think 14 or 15 out of the next 17, 18 days. And no luck. I mean, not just one Target. I mean, there was certain days where I'd visit 2, 3 Targets. I'm lucky enough that I live in the city of Boston. There's a lot of Targets in my area. I have a car. So the hunt was on. So what happened is I kept not finding it. It just couldn't find Firefly, couldn't find the Vipers. But look at all the other shit that I was able to grab. Fortunately for me, I had actually sold some of my Mescos figures that I had that I really wasn't going to continue that collection, and it's an expensive figure to get, and so I kept my Daredevil, and I just kind of got rid of everything else, and there was some other figures that I sold, and so I was gearing, I was ready for this new year and some of the figures that were coming out, so I was kind of prepping up. So first and foremost, before January 1st, I really wasn't collecting Star Wars Black Series. I used to, back when they first came out, and then sold them maybe a year and a half, 2 years afterwards, just because I didn't really like the figures. I just thought that a lot of them, they didn't look like the actors, and it was just, I just decided to get rid of them. Had bought the Mandalorian, I think back in November, maybe late November, early December, and little baby Grogu, and that's it. That was gonna be it, man. But then I started seeing some of these figures and checking out the reviews, and I was like, oh man. So first and foremost, these 2 Remnant Stormtroopers back there, that's also a Target exclusive. These are only sold at Target. You can only find them at Target. I was able to find 3. Kept these 2. The third one I shipped away to my boy Lewis, who my boy Chris had bought the figure from me at cost. And it was part of a Secret Santa, and he sent them to my boy Lewis. So through me. So I sent it to Lewis, and he just got it today, actually. Super excited. He's happy. He's like, yo, I've been looking for these. I can't find them. So because I was going to Target so often, was able to get 3 of these Remnant Troopers. I still have 2 left. I'm gonna keep those 2. Was also able to find, just again, these are various Targets. The Incinerator Trooper, the what's her face, the Armorer. I also got Queel and Apollo Creed. Then was lucky enough to get 2 of these ninjas. Now this in right now in the picture in the box here is 4 out of the 6 figures you need to build a figure, which is Stiltman. We originally thought they were gonna pack 2 ninjas per case. That was stupid of us. Instead, I think they packed an extra Miles and an extra Peter B. Parker instead. So there's only 1 red ninja per case. So these are not that easy to get to. Was able to get 2 of them. Was able to find Miles, Peter B. Parker, and Frog Dude in the back there. Actually, there's a funny story. This is a great figure, by the way. I walked into a bodega near where I live to do a friend for a favor for a friend. And I saw this on, so I usually go to the back office of this bodega, and I saw this on a shelf, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, yo, bro, what's this? And he's like, yeah, somebody sold it to me. I was like, how much you want for it? And it was from GameStop, because you can see the price on the bottom. It was $22. He's like, just give me $10. I was like, word. And if y'all don't know, that face right there is an interchangeable face. And on his backpack, he has a little slot to throw on another face that has no beard or mustache. You can put those goggles down, and there's even a little handkerchief that I have hung up on the back of the backpack there. The little antenna, if you can see it there. But yeah, this is a great figure. Was really happy to get that. And then found this Luke with like the cloth bandana. Found that at a Target as well. And actually, the funny thing is, so this is the story. This is my story of the Vipers. So I have found this Luke and a Han Solo from the Empire Strikes Back with the, I think it was the brown jacket or the blue jacket, but with the fur line jacket. So today's Tuesday. So on Saturday I opened him and Han Solo up, and when I opened up Han Solo, his arm snapped. I was like, man, took it back to Target, got my money back. And that's where the story of the Viper comes in. So I'm gonna clear this out real quick. I'm gonna do a quick little review on this Viper and get into my story, and then obviously, you know, I gotta follow with a rant. Alright, and I'm not gonna give it a too in-depth review, as you know, it's been done by a bunch of people here on YouTube already. Will definitely give my 2 cents and kind of just kind of go through it. So it looks like, from my understanding, a lot of these parts are not reused from other figures. A lot of it is a new sculpt. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But one of the things that I love about this figure, always have loved, is just these kind of this padded look. Ever since I had this in 3 3/4 inch back in the day, I love that look. That's the first thing that I love about it. Secondly, the color scheme. I mean, as a big Red Sox fan and a big Patriots fan, you know, this is right up our alley in terms of the colorway. This is it's kind of that blue and that red, so instantly it you know, eye candy for me. So I love that part of it. I love the fact that it has kind of the texture here on the pants. So it's not a flat thing. Kind of has that texture that makes it look like these are you know, rugged type army pants. So I love that. I love the fact that you know, they was able to paint this in red, and some of the highlights you know, are amazing in terms of put this come down, just kind of the red here, painted very well. It doesn't look sloppy at all. And I'm over here doing this without my glasses, and now I'm throwing on my glasses so I can see a little better. But like, it's just the paint job is really, really good. Yo, I love it, man. Even if you notice here, even the inside border of the helmet, just like no paint bleeding whatsoever. Like, I don't know what they did in terms of how they got this. Like, I all the figures that I got of this, I've checked them out, and they all look really, really good. So they did a great job with this. I love the rope there. I love the color, the tricolor on the pack. You know, you got a blue, a red, a black. That looks great. The handkerchief is dope. You know, you got the goggles. A few people have said, hey, but why does he need goggles? Because they look cool, damn it. These goggles look cool. So, man, yeah, I am not disappointed. It was worth the wait. This is great. My understanding is a few people, you can actually, I think, remove either this band or this band. And a few reviews that I saw, people were asking, you know, why can you see some of his skin underneath the glove? That's how these Vipers were, pretty much. If you could tell here, he kind of has the sleeves rolled up It doesn't look like he has them rolled up here though, which is interesting. I didn't notice that before. I'm looking at the. Let me see. Let me see if it's the same thing. Yeah, it's about the same thing in terms of it. It just looked for a second like it was rolled up here, but it looks like it has those wrinkles on the other side as well. You just can't see skin on the other side. But yeah, but if you look at the origin or some of the original pictures, you know, the forearm was pretty bare, and then he would just kind of put that guard on it. Some of the features is the kind of the drop down leg, so which is great because by dropping down the leg, you can kind of give it that full kick. And pretty much can do almost a split. Double jointed knees, they were great all the way to the back. Excellent. Then he has articulation, a cut right here at the boot. And then the ankle rocker is present up and down as well. Double jointed elbows that can go about that much, as it's hindered a little bit by the wrinkles there on the jacket. But even something as simple as just kind of outlining that, like, yo, that looks great. This looks great, man. This looks great. And the dope thing is that I'm pretty sure as the line continues, we're gonna be able to get some just random heads, and like we can have this guy helmetless, which would be a cool little look. But yeah, so it basically comes with the backpack that you can just kind of pour right into there. When I first got it, the vest was a little off, so I kind of had to adjust it so I can find where to peg it, or to peg it correctly. It also has you can put the gun here on the side, which is great. I love when they do that. I can't stand when they put these like permanent. But this looks good, all black. And the other thing that I noticed is that because of the armor here on the leg, this isn't like floating. With a lot of the Legends, you put these bands on and they just kind of float, they fall. Let me see. Then we also have, in terms of the head articulation, he can't look back too far just because of that kind of the back of the vest there, but he has a pretty good range of motion looking down. You know, in terms of the arm, you know, you can kind of get it to go this far and swivel all the way around, and there's a bicep swivel, again double jointed. And then the wrist are, let me see, there's not that much movement with the wrist just because of this little part here that kind of stunts a little bit, but it has a watch, which is kind of cool. Don't know if that watch is removable. These goggles are, everyone keeps saying that these goggles pop up easily. What I did is I basically took the heat gun to them, and then after I took the heat gun to them, I kind of put them over, so I let it stretch, so now it's just not popping out as easy as it was before. So that looks cool. And then the handkerchief is another part that you can just take out, and you can kind of see the skin there that matches with his skin that's underneath this padding there. So that's a real quick review on this. Now I'm gonna tell you guys how I went about getting them, and we'll be right back. Alright, so the first thing I want to say is that if you've moved to the realm of reviewing figures, and you're reviewing figures like this, and then you're taking figures and you're putting them on the table and you're reviewing them as the camera's recording your face, stop that shit. That looks ridiculous. We're here for reviews. I don't want to see a face as if I'm reviewing a figure. It's like this new trend. Everybody needs to have their face on. What the fuck? Anyway, alright, so here we go. So this guy, bro, this has been controversy in the community, like, whoa. So let me give you my quick story of how I got him. So, as I had told you guys in the beginning of this video, I have been going to Target consistently for 3 weeks, 2+ weeks. And no luck. When the Cobra Troopers came out, I remember I found one day, not Popfinder. Target has an app, and their app informed me that they had some early on a Saturday morning or some shit, or a Monday morning, something like that. And I live like 7 minutes from Target, so I got up, threw on some sweats and a coat, and I was out. And so I got 2 that day. I got 1 more that I found with Beachhead, and that was that. So I had 4, and then a homie of mine, Roberto from Texas, had hit me up, and he was looking for the Baroness with the bike. So he was like, yo, I'm gonna send you this. If you find the Baroness, you know, let's trade. We'll figure it out. I never found the Baroness again. So he traded me. So I had a Cobra Trooper for a minute, and I hadn't traded him anything. So I owed him a figure. So this past Sunday. So today is Tuesday. So this past Sunday, I started to explain. I had gotten the Saturday prior. I had gotten a Luke Skywalker and a Han Solo, the 50th anniversary archive on card figures, and so I had got those because I guess I'm getting into Star Wars. But when I opened up the Solo and I went to flex his arm, it snapped right off. It pulled a NECA. It did a NECA on me. So went on Sunday, mind you. I didn't go Sunday till like. It was like 1 p.m. I think I woke up at like 1 p.m. on Sunday. That Saturday night, I ended up staying up. I was up till like 8 in the morning, bro. It was a crazy night. So that Sunday, I get up at like 1. I said, let me go get some coffee. Let me go exchange this figure. Let me just see if these Vipers, this Firefly is there. So I get to Target, and I get in line. There's like a little bit of a line for the return. So I was like, maybe I should check the figures first. I was like, nah, that's cool. They're not going to be there, so, you know. But yo, it was Sunday morning. Something told me, watch them be here. Of all the days, because like Sunday's a rest day. Nobody's out hunting. People are in church, I guess. So I got my money back for the Han Solo. Started to walk back, and I have like 3 different routes that I take to the toy section. And so this time I took the longest route. Again, I had a feeling, but I was also like, it's not the first time I've had a feeling in the last 2 weeks. There was another time where I for sure was going to find them that day. Did not. Yo. So as I'm walking, I turn the corner. I look up. Because right now they're positioned next to the Ghostbusters figures. I look up and I see 5, bro. 5 of these stacked up. On the pegs. Like, I had already told this story in an IG live. I grabbed 2. Let me grab a 3rd one for Roberto so we can complete our trade. And I almost walked through. I almost left 2 on the pegs. And you know why I almost left 2 on the pegs? Because this community is so boisterous and so... this is arms in the air. People are just like losing it, right? So I was like, yo, let me leave it because it's very possible a community member. But then I'm like, why? Like, I don't know who's going to grab these 2. Like, what if it's somebody that's not into G.I. Joe and they just know that they can get $100 a pop for these? You'll spend $40 for the last 2 I left and you'll make $200. So who wouldn't do that if you're not into figures, right? But the reason I hesitate is because this community it be wilding. Like, y'all just so fuck it. I grabbed them. I was like, I'm just gonna grab all 5. I also had another person I knew who was interested and had told me, if you find any, let me know. And I actually hit him up, and he had found a couple, so he was set. He was like, I'm good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I thought I was going to stay with 2 or 3. Instead, I ended up staying with 4 as I packaged up Roberto's Viper already. Yo, I'm done. Matter of fact, I cannot stand paying above retail for figures. But these were so difficult I'm so tired of going to Target, bro, that I ordered the Firefly scalper price. Mind you, it was $35, so it wasn't horrible. But I was like, yo, I'll pay $35 versus trying to figure out this Firefly, So I get home and I go to Home Depot. I take a picture. They're in my bag, like all 5 of them. I grabbed some foam boards from Home Depot. I got some projects to work on. I was amped. I've been amped for the last few days, right? So now I'm like, let me look at some, because I hadn't really looked at reviews yet. I was like, I just kind of want to get it on my own. So I said, let me look at some reviews. So I punch in on YouTube. I punch in Cobra Viper, G.I. Joe Classified, whatever. So I get, stuff comes out. Yo, mad rants. And this is the worst part of the rants. First and foremost, please understand that the last time I did one of these videos, I got a bunch of comments. Most of them were, because my attitude about it, I'm hunting. But yo, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, if I wouldn't gotten a single Viper, and mind you, Vipers are one of my favorite Cobra guys. If I wouldn't gotten not a single one, what can you do? I mean, I'm not going to write Target a letter and Hasbro a letter, and when I see Dwight Talk to the GI Joe team. What's happened with Target and harassing Target employees. And in those 14, 15 days that I was looking a couple times, I would ask employees, because some of my Targets around here don't have the little tablet so you can kind of punch it up, because some of my Targets are ghetto as shit, so they'll steal them, I guess. I don't know. So I would ask some staff, and you could tell staff was just frustrated too. They was like, yeah, dude, I look. Nah, man, we sold out. One of those. Not only that, when I would go to a Target that did have the tablets, the Vipers and Firefly weren't even mentioned anymore. They weren't even there. You would punch in Firefly and you would get like Cobra Trooper, Flint, Roblox, just a couple other ones. So I honestly feel I'm a true believer in the power of thought. Like I'm like, yo, I live in a pretty big city. Parking's really difficult in the city. I always find a parking spot, because when I go in, I'm like, I'm gonna find a parking spot, and I find it. So I'm pretty patient when it comes to these things. I'm pretty patient. I'm a dad. I got 3 kids. You gotta be patient sometimes. Then I started kind of looking into it, and some of the stories are fucked up. So let me give light to that. Some people are saying that they're going to Targets, managers are bringing out cases, opening up the case, and there's something completely different in the case. I've heard this story now happening in Florida, I think Delaware, somewhere else. So it's a thing now. It's happening. So people don't know if it's the distribution centers, if it's happening at Target. People just don't know. I went on YouTube and saw a video of a couple brothers that was just talking about their experience, and how in one particular case, a manager, people were waiting like 8 hours at a Target. I gotta come back to that. And at the end of that eighth hour, I guess the manager comes out with the case, and people think, oh, word, he brought him out. And he went straight to check to pretty much check out, to just leave with him. And somebody's like, yo, what you doing? And he was like, nah, chill, we'll go outside, we'll deal with it. And dude was like, oh, hell, like customer service comes through, takes the boss away from, I guess he was a manager, takes the boss away from him, distributes him to the people that were there. A lot of places that I've heard of, they're being distributed to people. People are getting in line. They're in the electronics department behind, closed, locked up. The Target my main Target where I found most of my troopers, where I found the Vipers, the regular troopers, it's near what we call Methadone Mile. There's a methadone clinic. It's wild how many people are on heroin. How many people you in that area you walk by in a high as shit, or panhandling looking for money. So I'm pretty sure that particular Target, their last concern is distributing these figures, which is probably why I found 5 Vipers sitting on the pegs, because they're like, psst. I used to collect sneakers back in the day. The one thing I will never do is I'll never get in line ever again for any material thing. Ever. I'm not doing it. Collect the sneakers for a long time. I've done overnights in lines looking for sneakers. I just can't do it no more. It's just not in me. Like, if I'm not gonna, will I go to a store at opening, right when they open? I may do that. If there's a line of more than 3 or 4 people, I'm out. I'm not standing in this big ass line hoping to get figures when I go in, hoping that. There was another story where these 2 dudes ran by everybody to the toy aisle, and they weren't even there. They were electronics, and they were all upset. Just story after story after story. But the one constant is this. Again, I get that I got 5. I'm very happy for that. And if I wouldn't have gotten the 5, I would have just been happy with just copping that Firefly. And then hopefully they'll re-release these maybe without the handkerchief. Just like they're re-releasing the Cobra Troopers without the little red piece there on the arm. And with a couple less weapons. It's important to remember, to keep in perspective the importance of everything else that life has to offer. So, you know, I don't want to get into it too much because, again, I know people get super upset. Like, yo, but of course you're going to say all this shit. Yo, I would have said this shit without the Vipers. I was going to do a video just showing how, because like, several times I was like, all right, record. And I would go on my phone. Let's see. Boom, nothing. I must have done this like 7 or 8 times, hoping that I'd have a video that I can show that has me finding them. Like, oh shit, right? Didn't happen. Never happened. That Sunday, a couple days ago, when I got those 5, that was the last thing that crossed my mind. Let me just record this. I just went hoping that they'd be 1 or 2, whatever. There was 5. Cool. But yo, guys, like for real, I love action figures, man. I am 46 years of age. In the mid 80s, I was 10. I was at the prime time of action figures and you know, pop culture in terms of, you know, Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, all that shit. So, yo, there was Christmases that I got. I remember one Christmas I got the Joe hovercraft thingamajig that came with the, I forgot the name of the fucking, it came with a figure, and the figure had the life vest. Yo, I was mad amped. This was one of my favorite Christmas of all time. I love that Christmas. And sometimes you just don't get what you need or what you want, and it's okay. They're just material things. At the end of the day, you know, we live to search another day. So just keep the faith up. Hopefully you'll get yours, or hopefully they'll re-release them with less accessories and they're going to be easier to get. But that's my story and Rant. And I am out. Peace.